Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a cross stitching. It's not an update video, it's more of like a little we could call it cross stitch news, cross stitch something. But it's like, this is a clip that I was actually going to put in my most recent update video, and I was just talking about the HAED 2026 stitch along. And I was kind of talking more about like the reasons why I wasn't going to join it. And I was also talking about just some charts that were retiring at some different companies. And the reason I actually cut it out is just like, I feel sometimes like when you talk about some of the stuff in like the cross-stitching community, it can kind of turn into like arguments sometimes because it's a small community and we know a lot of the people who own the companies, you know what I mean? But I had just cut it out because I was like, I wasn't sure if anyone really even wants to hear it, but then I did have like a couple questions about the stitch along and like the AI issue, which I actually had like two separate videos. So I had a video where I talked about the stitch along and why I wasn't doing it. And then I also had a video where I had to come back and be like, why don't I like AI? So there's going to be two video clips in this video that just kind of talk a little bit more about the stitch along. I didn't go into super detail about like the whole thing because the stitch along this year is kind of complicated. Like there is a reward if you finish one page, there's a reward if you finish 6 pages, and there's rewards I think for how many people sign up, and yeah, there's just like a lot of things going on. And yeah, anyways, so I will just let it go to those videos. And like I said, this is not like an attack on any company. This is just simply talking about the companies that we buy from. And then there's also, like I said, just mentions of retiring charts because there's some charts retiring. And so yeah, if I just included that because, you know, if you aren't aware of some of these charts retiring, it's very sad. Rose Library is retiring. So I just wanted to throw like the retiring charts in there just in case you are not on like social media to have seen any of the posts about the charts that are retiring, and just to like increase awareness because sometimes people don't find out until it's too late and then they're like, oh, I wish I had bought that chart, and they didn't know that they were retiring or whatever. So that's why I included that part of the video. And yeah, so I will just let it go to previous me talking about the HAED stitch along. I am back real quick because I realized there was something I forgot to mention, which is the HAED 2026 stitch along. So HAED stands for Heaven and Earth Designs, and they just announced their 2026 stitch along on November 1st, and it's currently, what day is it? November 6th. And am I participating this year? No, or next year. I'm not participating. Part of the reason is just there is quite a few of their charts for this stitch along that are AI. So like just looking at it right now, I have it pulled up over here, and like I would say like half of them are probably AI. And the one that I liked the most when they were releasing like little they were releasing little like teaser images, and the one I liked the most was a cottage one that looked like it might have been like a Thomas Kincaid type of thing where it was like a cottage and flowers. It's AI. So it is from L&L Designs, which is Leslie and Luann who run the stitch alongs, like the Facebook groups. And yeah, AI. So I won't be participating this year. They've also like changed a lot of the rules in terms of like the page finishes, and if you finish the whole thing, like picking a free chart, where the 2026 stitch along, I think if you finish the entire chart that you have selected, you get a pick from 3 different charts that are like exclusive, but it looks like at least 2 of them to me look like they are AI. And yeah, it's like there's too much AI going on in the stitch along this year, and it's $20, and I would rather just like spend that $20 on a different chart that I like. So you know what I mean? Also, the stitch alongs are just really big. They used to be small, so I'm gonna move the camera. That Santa that's right over there, That was one of their old stitch alongs from like 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. And it's only 4 pages. Like I think 1 full page and then 3 partial pages. And I really enjoyed that sizing because you're not committing to such a large thing. Also, it was like a free stitch along. So like you might have been like, what? $20 for a 4-page chart wouldn't be good. But it was a free stitch along and it was just a lot smaller. And so yeah, I really enjoyed like that size, or even the 2024 stitch along was like a decent size. And I get that making it a bigger size means you can make like the section that the charts are like better details and stuff like that and include more, because obviously if you make it smaller, you're gonna have to like really either go in a lot on the chart, like crop in a lot, or it's not gonna be as detailed, which I get. But yeah, I'm not wanting to commit to a chart that's, you know, huge and then all the AI. So that is my thoughts on that. Also, I was going to mention real quick, retiring charts. So I do not know what is happening, but Thread Geeks and Unconventional X Stitch are both retiring a lot of charts in like the next like month or two. So like I think by the end of the year. And Thread Geeks is retiring like Chrisabug, which is like devastating because there is so much artwork from Chrisabug. I just want to like buy it all. I know that there's a chart that is like a Fourth Wing inspired like artwork. It's called Dragon Riders, I think, and I really want that, but I also don't know if I would stitch it. So that's why I haven't purchased it. And yeah, it's just, there's so many charts retiring and it's gonna be sad. And then Unconventional X Stitch is retiring Rose Library, which is sad. At least I have it and I've started it, but I was just sad to see the artwork going. And so there's a couple other artworks or pieces of artwork from Ivy Dolomore that I might pick up on Unconventional X Stitch. And there is a section on both sites where you can like select retiring charts and you can see everything that's retiring. And if there's anything you want, you might want to get it before it goes. But yeah, it's sad. I'm hoping that like for Unconventional X Stitch, I'm just hoping that they're retiring things and then possibly we'll get more things, you know, but we will see what ends up happening. And also, oh, okay, Unconventional X Stitch has also been releasing a ton of new artwork from a different artist that I think they just got recently. And it's like Mrs. Butter D or something, I don't know. And it's like really like cutesy artwork and it's colorful. And there's one that has like 2 like little witches standing in front of a bookstore and I really like that one. There's also one and I think it's called Loading and it's like a girl asleep like at like a desk with a computer and it's like cute like video gamey themed and I really like it because the colors in that one are like purples and blues, and so I am tempted about buying a lot of charts, but I'm just being held back because I'm not going to be starting anything large right now. So yeah, but I'm really thinking about buying some stuff before they retire, so if I do, I will be showing that probably in my next couple of videos, but yeah, we'll see. All that to say, I really came back just to say that the HAED 2026 stitch along I won't be doing, so. I look forward to seeing everyone else stitch it though, especially the cottage. I really did like the look of the cottage, but because it's AI, I was just like, no, they could have licensed that from an artist instead of making their own, because it really does look like a like Thomas Kincaid piece of artwork, if I'm being honest. Okay, anyways, let's go back to the regular video. I'm also back one more time, just to mention why I personally don't want to stitch AI. And number one, I did have a video about AI like a year or 2 ago. And so number one, AI is trained by taking other people's artwork and then it kind of uses that to spit out images. So there is like a copyright issue of them taking artwork and then making things that look very similar, you know, like the cottage. And also just the fact that AI itself uses a ton of resources. So there are like AI data centers. So like, you know, you think like, oh, it's just, we don't really see what like runs all these electronics around us, but there are data centers. So like it uses a ton of water. The like data centers need to be like cooled because data is hot. How do you cool it, you know? And there's also like the energy that is used to power these large data centers. It uses a lot of energy. And so what happens when a lot is being used? The prices go up. Who pays higher energy prices? We do. They raise the prices for us to cover these costs. Yeah, AI, just bad in general. Copyright, and it's bad for the environment. So yeah, that is why I do not support AI in cross stitch and support real artists.